Greetings everyone, so that's Sunday, back at it with the next of the Toku content. We're back with this every Super Sentai suit design ranked. I'm going to try and finish this video off this week. Try and knock out all the top 30s, as it were, from this list. So we'll do the 30 to 21 on this one. Make it nice and solid. We're definitely getting to better suit designs, because I do agree with a lot of the ones that Akramani Toku is talking about here. Now, we just got done with the Boketsu Rangers, so let's get on to the next one, which I believe is Kyud Ranger, I believe? Yep, Kyud Ranger.
Number 30 is Kyud Ranger. We have diamonds on the chest.
Why did I think Kyud Ranger?
Diamonds on the gloves, and diamonds on the boots, which is kind of whatever, but I think the helmets here look really good and make these suits shine. The contrast and color balance is nice, but it would be wrong of me to not mention Burai, because this dude's suit looks freaking incredible. He has easily the most aggressive looking helmet on the squad, and his gloves and boots are trimmed in gold to match his golden chest piece. And he also has gold on his dino buckler. Now if we're talking about pure aesthetics, these suits are pretty mid, but given that this show was turned into Power Rangers, these have to be some of the most recognizable and iconic suits in the history of Toku.
Indeed.
Number 29 is Go Onger, another vehicle-themed Sentai. I really like how the gloves and boots of our main three Rangers are trimmed in black, whereas those of green and black are trimmed in gold. We have seatbelts featured on their chests, which isn't my favorite design choice, but it does work well given the theme of this show, and I actually dig the helmets here quite a bit, specifically Red's. How the bird's eyes on his helmet are reminiscent of headlights on a car. I think this was just a very creative design choice.
Nice.
It's gotta be hard for Toei to come up with interesting looking vehicle themed Sentai suits nowadays, but I think they did a really good job here.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, no argument here. Those are pretty good.
Next up at 28 is Gao Ranger, an animal themed Sentai. These were some incredibly aggressive looking suits for 2001, featuring some fierce looking animal helmets, claws on the gloves, and a really nice looking gold trim to tie everything together. One thing that I think is super cool here is that instead of having a pink ranger, we have a white ranger with pink trim, which isn't unique to this series, but I think the color balance of Gao White is almost perfect.
Man, no argument, she looks pretty good.
As far as aggressive looking suits, these have definitely been surpassed over time, but for 2001, these suits looked pretty awesome.
Agreed. Oh yeah, these guys.
Next up at 27 is Zenkaiger. Now this series is really unique because we have Zenkaiser, who is a white ranger featuring elements of previous rangers in the franchise, and then we have Kikinoids to fill out the rest of the team, which look like mechas from previous seasons. We have Zenkai Juran, who is based off of the Daijujin mecha from Zyuranger. We have Zenkai Gaon, who is based on Gao King from Gao Ranger. We have Majin, who is based off Magi King from Magi Ranger. And we have Zenkai Vroom, who is based on Daiboken and Gogo Dump from Bokenger. In addition to that, we also have Tukaiser, who looks like he's straight out of Gokaiger. So ultimately, these rangers here are a mishmash of sorts of the looks of previous Sentai seasons. And for the most part, I'd say they look pretty cool and unique.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Next up we have Pat Ranger, obviously a police-themed Sentai. Their visors look like a cop's hat with a badge in the front. We have shoulder pads here with a badge on the chest as well, and the white pattern on the chest as well as on the gloves and the trim of their boots gives the suit a nice bit of contrast. And the gloves and the boots here are pretty much the same of those as Lupin Ranger, but obviously these suits are given a cop theme. Pretty sleek design, and I honestly really like the shoulder pads on their suits here.
Yeah, it definitely gives them the more officer of the law type look here. Magi Ranger.
Next up is Magi Ranger. Now, the first time I saw these capes, I was like, what the heck? I wasn't a huge fan, but they definitely grew on me. For one thing, I think these suits have some of the best helmet designs in all of Sentai, especially that of Magi Red. And I really like how they carried the striping from the chest throughout the entire suit. I think it looks good and really unique at that.
Fair enough.
Not to mention,
That'd give anyone who loves their Rubik's Cube an aneurysm, just like, wait, where's the pattern?
in this series features a light blue female ranger. This is a color that I like a lot, actually a lot more than your standard blue on most of these Sentais. The capes initially were not something I was a huge fan of, but these suits definitely grew on me because of the awesome helmet designs and just the way that everything is pulled together throughout the costume.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Next up is Car Ranger, another vehicle-themed Sentai, as the name would imply. The helmets here look like cars again, with it looking like they have wheels covering their ears. But I think what really pulls these suits together is the simple design on the body. We have some thin lines, just to give a bit of extra detail, and some yellow trapezoids on their chest, for a bit of extra color. They also have headlights on their belts and on the top of their helmets, some thin white bands on the arms, and I think that these suits just come together really nicely. I think these suits are a great example of how you can pack a lot of detail into the costume without it becoming overdone or cluttered, and that's something that's really hard to pull off.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Next up is Go-Go 5. The visors on these helmets are reminiscent of shields or crests representative of various emergency services, and they open up over time while our heroes are Henshin, so we can actually see their faces, which is something that's quite rare within the franchise.
Yep.
On the chests, we have a white X of sorts, but it's reminiscent of light emanating out from a center location. And I like this because it's pretty unique. You know, we've had a lot of chest designs and patterns, but I think this is one of the cooler ones. These Rangers feature a gold belt with gold trim on their boots and gloves, and I'm a big fan of gold, so I definitely like this.
Well, I remember that bias from his Kamen Rider suit ranking.
If they didn't have this gold trim, the suits would look a lot more flat, so I'm glad they designed it this way.
Yeah, nice popping effect there. That kind of
Number 22 is Decker Ranger. One of the most obvious things about these suits is the implementation of giant numbers on their torsos.
Yep.
This not only tells you what number they are within the squad, but it also adds a lot of contrast to the suit because it makes their arm and half of their torso black, which looks very dynamic with the rest of the suit. Their helmets here look very sleek and almost futuristic in a sense, complete with the badge on the forehead. And we also have a badge on their shoulder and some gloves that stop at their wrist, which is kind of unusual in Sentai, so I really like it for those facts.
fair enough.
Ultimately, I think Toei did a very good job of designing these suits around the police theme because they actually look quite grounded in reality. You know, I could honestly imagine something similar to this being worn by real-life law enforcement. So I'd say that that's a home run in suit design.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough. Also very iconic when you think about it. I mean, the helmet design, the number design on the suits, everything's pretty iconic on that one.
Next up at 21 is Mega Ranger. Easily some of the slickest looking helmets in the franchise. They honestly look like if Goggle 5's helmets were done the right way. We have a yellow upside down
I mean, you're not wrong.
triangle on the neckline. We have a white bar with squares representing each individual member's color along the chest, as well as white trim on the shoulders. And then our boots here are plain white. There's nothing too fancy here, but they look pretty sleek and futuristic, and I would say that they match very well with the theme of the show. And sometimes minimalism goes a long way, as evidenced by these suits.
I mean, fair. Alright, oh, of course these guys are this high on the list. But yeah, that's what we'll end here. It's a pretty good list so far. I'm liking the list placements. I'm agreeing with a lot of what Acrimony Toku is talking about, but yeah, come on, you could have, I would have argued Mega Ranger being a bit higher on the list, and even Deca Ranger, maybe like 5 ranks, 8 ranks higher each, around there. Because I grew up on those shows. Like I grew up on the American version of the show, so I grew up knowing those iconic looks of Power Rangers in Space, Power Rangers at Speedy Emergency, all those guys. Like knowing those shows, knowing their stories, and knowing the suits. So for me, I would have ranked them a bit higher, but that's just probably because of my nostalgia bias. If not, they would have been my top 10. Just saying. Anyway, in the meantime, that'll be it for this section of 30 through 21 for the rankings. Next comes one of the Arch 93's Power Ranger Epic music videos, and then we'll get back to the next 10 suits. In the meantime, you guys take care. Please like, comment, subscribe down below as we keep on bringing you more Toku content on this channel. You guys take care. I'll see you for the rest of the week at the Toku content return. Bye!